Welcome to the 133rd edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tiger Height.
And I am Peanut Gallery.
So obviously you see that we do not have mics in front of us anymore. We don't have that because we have wireless mics that are attached directly to my phone. So let's get right into it. Lots going on. I will be messing with the settings and stuff, but let us know how it sounds as well. Let's talk about our first match.
Well, we're talking about Worlds End first, by the way.
Yeah, we're talking about Worlds End. I think people really gave this show a lot of unnecessary flack. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was not a good show by any means, but it wasn't like the dog water pay-per-view that people were seeing. I've seen worse AEW shows.
Well, yeah, but I think that people are finally starting to get the memo here.
Yeah. All right. So Blackpool Combat Club, Daniel Garcia, and Mark Briscoe taking on Jay White, Jay Lethal, Roosh, and Brody King.
Most random 8-man tag match ever.
Like, why? Why did they decide to do this? I mean, Blackpool Combat Club, are they baby faces, heels? Does it matter?
No. It doesn't matter.
And I'm just so disappointed. And also, I was going to do a Jay Briscoe counter on how many times they were going to mention Jay Briscoe in some way, shape, or form. They only really mentioned him once.
Oh, that's good.
Other than Mark signaling up to the heavens for Jay, and then they still have not yet replaced the Titantron. But other than that, they only really mentioned his name once.
Well, that's good.
Yes. I was expecting them to really pound in on that, but they actually did pretty okay.
No, I wonder if people are getting sick. I wonder if they're just getting a memo that people are just sick of it.
Yep. And it was a roll-up for the babyface team to win. It was a lame match. It was a car crash. I have no idea why my phone is auto-focusing. You're just going to have to deal with it. Orange Cassidy thumbs down. It was just a lame match full of random people for no discernible reason. Right. And this shit pisses me off.
Right.
If you wanted to do, I don't even know how you would make this majestic again.
You don't. You just don't have this match.
No. All right, Andrade, Idolo, and Miro. At least
this was a decent match, actually.
And there was a story that went into it. And so I'm not going to give too much flack as it relates to how we got here for this match. With CJ Perry being out there with Andrade, but then her betraying him, and then Miro still being weird about it. I have no idea why. But
it was Andrade's go home or his final match in AEW. So
I just can't believe it took this long and it was his final match in the company. Yeah. That's just crazy. Oh man, people say, "Oh, how can WWE how can it not use Swerve Strickland? How could AEW not use Andrade El Idolo?"
Because they're stupid and they have too many toys.
At the very least, it was a fun match. So I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up, All right, for the Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm and Riho, the whole the Timeless stuff is now getting kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of getting old.
Now, ironically, it is still the best thing on the show, but they're doing it too much.
Yes.
And the character has evolved to a point where it's not what made Timeless that good gimmick.
Right.
The good part of this gimmick is that she was so insane that she broke in her head.
Right.
Because she did not have the AEW Women's World Champion.
Right.
But now she has the belt.
Right.
And she's still crazy?
I don't know. I would assume so. And
also, Riho is not that good.
No. She's literally a child.
Literally. And it's the child that Kenny Omega's fucking. So there you go. It was a flip over.
Really?
I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
It's vanity. Anyway, it was a flip over DDT thing for Timeless Toni Storm to win. It was a meh match, and I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs down.
That's kind of what I expected.
Just straight up. All right, a match that A, didn't need to happen.
Nope.
And B, Keith Lee. You had, this entire rivalry was over.
Yeah. I mean, the point was to have a Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland match.
For what reason? There was no reason. The blow-off is done.
Right.
That was months ago. And then when they announced this match, I'm like, why?
Because they don't have any ideas.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
So Swerve had the Konosuke tape on his shoulder. And that's the one thing I noticed is that at least one person in every match was taped up like a mummy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because everybody is hurt in this damn company all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Dustin Rhodes, bless his heart, this was not good.
No.
And it was finally a Swerve stomp for the win. It was a match. Swerve Strickland's momentum as like this big time heel.
He's just dying.
It's dead. It's dying to death.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Because they had him white hot literally last month. It's like,
and now he's doing things with Heyman Adam Page again.
We already had the blow-off match.
Right.
What else could you do after that Texas death match?
They're going to find a way to extend the rivalry.
But then nobody's going to care.
Right.
Because we already had the blow-off. At this point, they're just playing.
Right. And WWE has a formula with blow-off matches. They always do 3 pay-per-views in a row with the same contender, and they do...
Well, sometimes they go a little over the top, but...
Sometimes, but they're getting better at it. But
they are getting better at it.
The blow-off match was a Texas death match. We don't need them anymore.
Yep, exactly. All right, the NDA match. Les Sex Gods, Sting, and Darby Allin taking on essentially, Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and the Don Callis family.
Again, why did this match have to happen?
Sammy Guevara used to be part of the Don Callis family. He came back, and he's no longer part of the Don Callis family. So
how many times has he switched allegiances now?
I don't know.
On a scale from 1 to Big Show, how many times has he done
at this point? At this point, it may not be from 1 to Big Show. It's going to be from 1 to Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, because Sammy Guevara has switched allegiances so much. I don't even know how you can trust him.
Also, keep in mind that Sting is still going away, and they're putting him in these matches. How about you hire some people that would actually be significant to his career and legacy and do those? Right.
But I guess not. I guess they want to put him in random tag team matches with Darby Allin, the human who wants to become
he wants to be paralyzed.
The man who wants to become paralyzed.
People booing Jericho, that gave me a special place in my heart because fuck Chris Jericho.
Yeah, seriously.
The NDA, I love that people were like, it was a NDA Worlds End.
Yeah.
There were a couple of other really funny signs, and people were chanting NDA pretty much throughout the whole match. But yeah.
So there we go.
Shooting star press for the baby faces to win. It was a fucking mess of a match too. It wasn't even good, and it gets a thumbs down and a fuck you. Because it was a mess.
Right.
And speaking of messes, this was a fucking disaster.
God. Jesus.
All right. Julia Hart, Abaddon, who was taped up like a mummy, ironically, for the AEW TBS champion.
Why did this one have to... They should have switched it to women's matches, in my opinion.
Yeah, why wasn't this... I didn't even realize that. Why was this later on the card?
Because they're stupid.
It doesn't make any sense. Julia Hart, bless her heart, ironically, she does have a good moonsault, but this was not one of them.
No.
And unfortunately, it was the ending of the match.
Right. Oh my God, this match was a mess, man.
This was a fucking mess. This was horrendous on every level.
Yep.
Nobody knew what was going on. I don't even know how I could
redeem the match other than they need more training.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. So this gets a double thumbs down and a 2 fuck you because it was legitimately that awful.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty bad. Obviously, this happened before the New Year, so we can't make this the worst match of the year, but it would have been up there.
It would have been up there. It wouldn't have been the worst match of the year.
Oh, okay.
I put the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match as the worst match of the year.
Oh, that would make more sense.
Yep. So there were 2 technical matches here, and I like the story, actually.
The story is fine, but I just don't... This didn't make sense.
No. Here's the thing. This is it. No disqualification. We have Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I like the first part of this whole interaction. They do work well together, but they're best friends, so it helps. The flaming table spot with Nick Wayne was scary.
And it was so badly done.
Copeland overshot, and Wayne basically flipped over, and the table that was still on fire, mind you, almost landed on the guy.
Yeah,
with his mom, his shoot mom, literally standing there. His shoot mom. So, and Copeland knows better.
Yeah,
you know how to put somebody through a flaming table, but he knew that he oversaturated it.
Yeah.
Like, let the stuff burn off a little bit and then put them through the table. But he just doused that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't very well executed. The thought was there, it just very poor execution.
Yeah, and it was a kill switch on Christian for Copeland to win at first. But then Luchasaurus, who won the Battle Royal...
His name is Kill Switch, Adam.
You know what? I'm just going to call him
Tiger.
Lucha Switch.
Lucha Switch.
Lucha Switch. So Lucha Switch had won that Battle Royal to get a TNT Championship match. But Christian, because he's Christian, told Lucha Switch to give him the contract. Christian signed it, and then he speared Copeland to win the match so he has the championship back.
This doesn't make sense.
Now, here's the thing. I like that each guy used the other person's finisher to win the matches. And I thought, like, organically, it was done well.
Yeah. It just... I don't know where the rivalry just goes from here. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, now apparently Copeland is playing around with Griff Garrison. It's like, why are you doing this? I thought you were trying to follow Christian and your career with him. If this was it for both guys, A, this should have been the main event. Right. And B, I would have taken the title away from the situation.
But it wasn't. So they're probably waiting a little bit further down the road for any
So we're going to continue then. We're going to continue this rivalry for no reason.
This rivalry is going to continue until one or both of them retire.
Oh my God.
I know.
Such a waste of time.
Yep.
All right. Continental Classic Finals.
Oh, God.
Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. I'm glad that Kingston won.
Yes.
It was a spinning back fist for the win. I swear to God.
The hug at the end did not give you Jericho, Benoit, Eddie Guerrero vibes.
I saw that online. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I almost it was almost like when people were comparing Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page to Steve Austin and The Rock.
Or you mean The Rock and Hulk Hogan?
No, I saw Steve Austin and The Rock.
Oh, okay. I saw The Rock and Hogan.
Well, but both of them are just... No.
No, they're not even the same league here.
No.
Jesus Christ.
That was horribly embarrassing, but I did like this match. I thought it was fine, and it was a spinning back fist for Kingston to win. I'll give an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. Oh, and then the Christian and Copeland stuff, I'm going to give that a full thumbs up. I liked more than I hated, and I thought organically it flowed really well.
All right, let's move on here to the main event.
Main event. What a mess. MJF, who has this huge thing on his shoulder and enough tape to kill a bull elephant versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Champion. You know how you make this majestic again? Replace Samoa Joe with Swerve Strickland, have Joe face off against Dustin Rhodes or whoever, I don't care, and call it a fucking day.
Right. Because Swerve Strickland was the one that really should have had this title opportunity.
100%. But for some reason, it just did not happen. It was stupid. But at the very least, there was like a rivalry here.
Wow, there was actually progression in the storyline.
Because remember, Samoa Joe agreed to wrestle with MJF, but in exchange for helping him, he got this world title shot.
Right.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. The devil was Adam Cole and company.
And no one cares.
And now he's a manager, just like what Vince McMahon wanted to do.
Yep.
It's almost like Vince was right, like most things.
Right.
But Samoa Joe won with the Conquista clutch, and it was a lame match.
It was.
But thank God we put the bullet in this horrendous title reign of MJF. Yep. It has been really bad.
Yeah. It started out okay, but it just got worse and worse as time went on.
Because they didn't strike when the iron was hot with him. He was white hot 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
But they just did not do anything with it until he died a death. And now he's a goof. He's a comedy character.
Right.
It's like, that's not what MJF is. So, yeah, Samoa Joe is the new AEW World Champion. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to assume it might be better than MJF.
Oh, it should.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But that was World's End.
Thumbs down. To be honest with you, it was a thumbs down. The whole show within of itself was an Orange Cassidy thumbs down.
Right.
It was not as lame as I thought, like a lot of people were saying, but, it still was. Anyway, when we come back...
You're getting on your soapbox.
Yes, we're doing soapbox.